Hey everyone, okay, so this is Ziki here, hoping that you're all doing very well. And for those of you who are new to the channel, please subscribe and stay so that you don't miss on this and more. The first story that we have is about Elvis Nyathi, the Zimbabwean man who was brutally killed in South Africa sometime in April. Now, following his death, 14 people were initially arrested over this case, but 7 were released due to lack of evidence. Now, the other 7 are the ones remaining. Yesterday, we saw these 7 being granted bail, to the mixed reactions from other people, saying, why are they being given bail? This case is very serious. And again, earlier on, we had seen some reports saying that South African police were asking the widow of Elvis Nyathi to travel from Zimbabwe to South Africa so that she can identify the accused in a parade. That too is a story that we are following. But yes, the 7 accused have been granted bail in a South African court in Randburg. Now, moving forward to Operation Dudula. Today, we saw the launch of Operation Dudula in Cape Town, and there is much talk over it, and they're saying, well, we are here to do what we are supposed to do, okay, to chase away all undocumented foreigners in South Africa, and also to be visiting, shops. And we also saw Put South Africa First joining Operation Dudula in this movement. And in the news again, we saw that the DA, which is the opposition party in South Africa, was saying, in Cape Town, was saying, well, they were discouraging people from joining this movement, okay, this Operation Dudula in their city. They say, don't join them. So again, it's another story that we are following. There's also a story of the DA member or of the legislature in Gauteng, who came out saying that he was asking South Africans to boycott buying from foreign-owned disposal shop. Yes, he was saying we need to buy goods from South African disposal shop, not from foreign disposal shop. Let me just give you a small, audio so that you can listen to what he said.
And what my call is to say we need to be conscious as South Africans. We need to be deliberate to say we need to support South African-owned businesses. And that does not mean that we should not hold government accountable. We need to do all the things that needs to be done. We need to hold government accountable, but we must also take the power that we have as South Africans, because we are the ones, we are the customers, we are the consumers. So I'm asking consumers to say, you know what, before you go and buy the bread tonight, for your kids' lunchbox tomorrow, please go and buy that bread at a South African-owned shop. That's something that we can be able to do to reverse what I consider to be the total takeover and domination of the township economy. And what we are dealing with, it's a very organized business network. And what it needs is for us as South Africans to be able to stand together, to unite, because the business people from other nations, they come into our country, they realize that we are divided. Therefore, they exploit that to their advantage. And now, if we are calling on South Africans to say, the little money that you have, that 20 rand that you have, that you are thinking of buying a bread tonight, please take that 20 rand and go buy bread at a South African-owned shop. That's the call that I'm making. It's not to say that I will not hold the government accountable. In the work that I do in the legislature, I will continue to do that. But over and above that, we need to be able to say, you know what, as a South African, that 50 rand that you have, that 10 rand that you have, there's a South African small business owner that needs your support, and we need to be deliberate in our support of South African-owned businesses.
Now, we are still on Operation Dudula. Again, there's a video that is circulating of a lady who is alleged to have her son. Her son was beaten and stabbed by Nigerians, allegedly, and she said that she's joining Operation Dudula to make sure that these foreigners are chased away, especially Nigerians, following, this brutal attack on her son. So she's not very happy about it. Let me give you the video to watch for yourself.
Stab my child to death. They stab him stones, and then they stab him, and then they break him. The teeth are fallen down, and then he's in a bad mood at home. But the letter from the doctor is very, very bad, in a bad situation, but because of the Nigerians. It was 8:30 at night but I didn't see them. But the friends of my son, they said we're Nigerians. There are a lot of them. When they're walking on the street, they don't want to move if you want to pass. So they beat my son up until to death.
And what are you doing here today? What do you want to achieve?
Today I want them, the foreigners, to go away because we can't.
Now, moving forward, we have a story of a Zimbabwean midfielder, that is Kuda Mahachi, who has been suspended from super sport or from taking part in any football activities of that sort after allegations of him abusing his son came to light. So it is said that Kuda abused his 4-year-old son. He beat him and poured some boiling water on his body, and the boy sustained some 30-degree burns on his foot and on the leg. Okay, now it is also reported that the part of the foot has been amputated. Now this also came about with the story I'm going to read for you here, as it has been reported in the papers. It is saying that Mahachi called his ex-wife in February this year, requesting for the boy to visit or to travel to South Africa temporarily and stay with his father, okay, to which she agreed. The boy's mother alleges that she only learned that his son was back in Zimbabwe and staying in Kuda Park, that is in Bulawayo, with Mahachi's grandmother on April 19, as she had blogged on WhatsApp by the Warrior Star. Okay, she was blogged. Now, Ndlovu claims that she went to get her son as soon as she heard he was in the country and saw him very heavily bandaged with burns all over the body. The burns, as the mother alleges, were 3rd degree, and the boy was smuggled back into Zimbabwe by a Malaysian. The journey from Johannesburg to Bulawayo is about 10 hours, and he was alone. What kind of a father does that to his son? Mahachi has money and he can afford to have his son treated in South Africa. I took my son to a private surgery and they quickly called an ambulance that took him to Mpila Hospital. The doctor said taking him to the hospital using any other car was not appropriate, but his father put him in a quantum bus. How cruel can one be? The mother, I was telling, the media reports, right? So the photos of this boy are there, but I cannot share with them because of, the policies of YouTube. I cannot share those photos, but this is the story again that we have. We're also going to see, because now the case is in courts, is now a police case, so we're going to see what is going to happen on that. Okay, so this is all I have for you for now, but of course I'm going to come back again with more stories. Like I said before, if you are new to this channel, why don't you subscribe and stay so that you don't miss on everything that we give you on this channel. Okay, so this is an update on the Mahachi story. He spoke to the media and he said, "This thing pains me because no one wants to hear my side of the story. My sisters, they know what they did. They know what they injected my son with. My son left South Africa in one piece. He was okay and he was walking. My sisters know the doctor they used to inject my son and everything." He said, okay, so Mahachi's sisters, Melin Mahachi and Snikiwe Sbanda declined to give their own comments. But one of the family members who agreed to speak to the media said, "My brother, don't be fooled. The child was transported from South Africa like that. If the sisters are to blame, then why are they not under arrest? Marita Ndlovu did not burn her child. That is why she is also free. The sisters, the grandmother, and Marita are all not under investigations because they had nothing to do with the child's burns." Okay, the relative also dismissed the reports that the child was under the care of his sisters and grandmother. Mahachi instructed Umalaisha to deliver the child to his house in Kuda Park because he didn't want anyone to know what had happened to his son. It is not true that his child was with his grandmother and that the sisters knew what happened to the child. No relatives live in that house, only a caretaker and maids. The child was dumped there and relatives only knew after they were told that the child was in Kuda Park. The grandmother and the sisters were only trying to help. They never tried to hide that the child was burnt, but as soon as they learned of the child's condition, they immediately alerted the mother and together they took the child to hospital. Mahachi must tell the truth, all right? So this is how the Mahachi story is now unfolding. He is now giving blame to his sisters, and the sisters are saying we don't know what he's talking about. So we're just going to be keeping on following the story to give you later on.